Hi kids, it's me, everyone's second favorite teacher, Mr. Monokuma, and today it's time to learn about the different types of reproduction. Now class, there's two different types of reproduction. Asexual and sexual. Both of these come with advantages and disadvantages, but first let's start with asexual. Asexual are clones of each other, just like me. Wow. Now the way asexual reproduction works is that it involves a single parent, and that single parent makes a clone of itself as seen on this snazzy picture. The requirements needed for asexual reproduction are just one parent cell because meiosis isn't needed. The disadvantages that asexual reproduction have are that they are more likely to have disease, and any negative mutations that were in the parent would go on to the offspring. The advantages of asexual reproduction are that they can reproduce like rabbits. Well, maybe not exactly like rabbits. They can make offsprings in a short amount of time and in a large amount. You don't much time to find a mate with asexual reproduction. Let's be honest, who really has time to find a mate? Am I right, guys? Speaking of mates, budding is something similar to it and is a part of asexual reproduction. Budding is when something is outgrowing on the outside of the parent and looks weird. There's two different forms of budding: chips budding and shield budding. Let's take a look at this yeast while it's budding. While we are on the topic of the other parts of asexual, let's see what binary fission is. Binary fission is when the bacteria separates into two new bodies. There's 4 steps to binary fission. The first step is the replication of the chromosome and doubling the content. The second step is the cell growing. Then the separation of DNA is found in the third step. Now finally the fourth step is splitting of the cells. Now what I'm about to show you is how amoeba sisters are made using binary fission. I can't bear to watch. I need to move on to a different part, such as fragmentation. Fragmentation is when the organism splits into fragments, and each fragments develop into a new matured organism but are still identical to their parents because it is part of asexual reproduction. And for the last part of asexual reproduction, vegetative reproduction is when a plant makes a genetic copy of itself because there is no mixing of female or male gametes. See, this kind of reproduction is risky for plants because there's no protection of the seeds, but many roots of a plant will undergo vegetative reproduction. Now we can talk about the last type of reproduction, and that's sexual reproduction. Now sexual reproduction, unlike asexual reproduction, you need 2 parents, a female and a male. Some advantages are the new genetic variation in the offsprings. This can help the species in a new environment, but it does come with disadvantages like taking more time and energy, finding a mate, and that is the gist of the different types of reproduction. I shall now bid my farewell, class.